Hey YouTube, Brian here, and today I present to you this new video that I've been working on for a couple of weeks. So here we go. Now, before I moved to Taiwan, I didn't really know much about it, and one of the things I didn't realize until after living in Taipei for a while was it used to be a walled city. Walled in the way that some medieval cities used to be in Europe and elsewhere. So that brings me to the topic of the video, which is the old city walls of Taipei. Now, if you remember my history video, maybe you've seen it, you know that after the fall of Koxinga's kingdom, Taiwan was absorbed into Fujian province under the control of Qing Dynasty China. At that time, Taiwan was just a prefecture of Fujian province. It wasn't its own province yet. From that time to 1887, foreign pressure from Western powers in Japan started to increase on Taiwan. And in 1887, this man, that's Liu Ming-chuan, I think, probably butchering that pronunciation, became the first Qing governor of Taiwan after it became a separate province from Fujian. So, why mention him? Because he was the man who had the walls, the gatehouses, and other defensive structures built. It was part of his plan to modernize and strengthen Taiwan from outside invaders, mainly European imperialists. So, the walls and the gates came up in the 1880s. So, I made this map to kind of show what that might have looked like, and as you can see, there are 5 gates. The north gate, Beimen, the east gate, Dongmen, the south gate, Nanmen, the auxiliary south gate, that's Xiao Nanmen, and the west gate, Ximen. Inside the walls, there are less people and structures than outside the walls. At the time, there were more people in Wanhua or Banga, I guess, that's Taiwanese, and Dadaochan than in the actual walled city of Taipei itself. Lastly, you can see the Danshui and the Jilong rivers, which ultimately lead to the Pacific Ocean in the north. Also, I want to show you guys this smaller but way more accurate map. Note the 5 gates, the sparse buildings, and the moats. Anyway, it didn't really count for much if you think about it, because Taiwan was handed to Japan just a few years later in 1895, after the Treaty of Shimonoseki. Again, remember my history video? The Japanese, starting in around 1900, began demolishing the walls and building boulevards as part of their restructuring and modernization plan. Now, originally, they planned to destroy all 5 of the city gates as well. However, after they tore down Ximen, that's the west gate, the local population of non-ethnic Japanese got really friggin' pissed, and there was a big backlash against the colonial Japanese government. So, fast forward to 1945, after the end of World War II, Japan hands Taiwan to the ROC, that's the Republic of China. The 228 massacre occurs, and the White Terror period begins. Fast forward again to 1966. Some of this man's, that's the former dictator Generalissimo Chiang Kai-shek, some of his officials, or flying monkeys, if you will, decided that they are going to rebuild or remodel the city gates to be better looking. Beijing or Northern Chinese style gates, worthy of the capital of the Republic of China. All of this in an attempt to please the Generalissimo. One thing, though, for some reason, the North Gate, that's Beimen, that was left alone. I don't know why they went after the other remaining gates, but not the north gate. I don't know why they left the north gate out and didn't decide to remodel that one with the others. If somebody knows, please point that out in the comments section below, please. I really want to know. Why not Beimen? And that brings us to the modern day. So now I want to show you guys each of the 5 gates, or the gate areas, and tell you how you can get there. Okay, first, let's take a look at a Google map of current-day Taipei City. I've drawn the city walls, or where they would have stood, in yellow. The north wall would have run along Zhongshan West Road. The east wall would have run along Zhongshan South Road. The south wall would have run along Aiguo West Road. And the west wall would be Zhonghua Road. Note, Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall is outside what would have been the original walled city of Taipei. And now the gates. So let's take a look at the gates. This is where it gets interesting, guys. So the first thing I want to show you, let's start with Beimen. Here is an original picture of Beimen, connected to the wall with a little kind of shed-looking building in front of it. That's pretty cool. That's what it originally looked like. And the way you get to Beimen nowadays is you go to the same MRT station for which it is named, Beimen MRT station on the Green Line. You can take that. And here, as you can see, is some footage of Beimen. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get very close to it or walk under it because there is a lot of construction going on, because recently a large freeway overpass which ran directly in front of Beimen was demolished, and they are working on rebuilding the roads in that area and kind of reshaping things. So unfortunately I wasn't really able to get very close to Beimen, but in the future I think people are going to be able to actually walk under Beimen and touch it and everything. Okay, so now moving on. From Beimen we go to Dongmen, that's the east gate. Now here's an original picture of Dongmen. It's not connected to the wall, but it's in its original state, its original Fujian state before it was remodeled by Chiang Kai-shek's flying monkeys. And how do you get to Dongmen? Well, no, you don't go to Dongmen MRT station. It's actually not that close to Dongmen MRT station. It's actually a lot closer to Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall station. And also, I want to show you guys this. This is an interesting picture I was able to find from Google. This is what Dongmen would have looked like during the 1980s. Note that they've kind of put up this fake kind of facade around it, and they have all the ROC flags up, and there's also a picture of Sun Yat-sen. Obviously it doesn't look like this nowadays. This is what it looked like back in the 1980s during the martial law or white terror era. And I'm not really sure what the reasoning behind all of this is, other than to maybe it was for like the anniversary of the ROC. Maybe it was 1010 day, or maybe it was I don't know, Sun Yat-sen's birthday or something. Not sure why they would have put up his photo like that and put on the fake kind of facade. This is what Dongmen looks like nowadays. As you can see, it's been remodeled from its original Fujian style to the style of northern Beijing style that apparently Chiang Kai-shek and his monkeys preferred. If you look through the archway right there very carefully, you can see that red building. That red building is the presidential office building where Taiwan's elected president stays and does all their business. Right here you can see Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall, kind of behind the trees. And that's it. Anyway, moving on. So from Dongmen, we move down onto Nanmen, the south gate. And here's a picture of the original South Gate in its Fujian style before it was remodeled. And now I'll show you the footage of the current day Nanmen. There it is. You can't really get close to it. It's kind of off in its own little traffic island in the middle of the road there. You're not going to be able to get anywhere close to it, but at least you get to see what it looks like. Nanmen is accessible from Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall Station. It is like Dongmen. It is closer to Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall Station than it is any other MRT station. Okay, now moving on, we go to Xiao Nanmen. That's the auxiliary South Gate. I also managed to find this really cool picture of Xiao Nanmen from 1972. This one, just like before, you saw it has the kind of fake facade around it again for some reason that I don't know. And it looks like it has Chiang Kai-shek's portrait hung up on it. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But let's remember that during the 1970s, Taiwan was still under the control of Chiang Kai-shek. So now let me give you the footage of what Xiao Nanmen looks like today. It's pretty good looking if you ask me. It's a little bit smaller than the other ones. That's why they call it the Xiao Nanmen, right? Xiao Nanmen is accessible by going to Xiao Nanmen MRT station. That's located along the Green Line. Very easy to get to. Okay, now moving on, we go to the very last part, which is Ximen. Here is the original picture of Ximen before it was demolished by the Japanese colonial empire. And now this is Ximen in 1971. Ximen became a big shopping area and a big kind of commercial area for pedestrians to walk around and go to restaurants and buy food and see movies and yada 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 yada. So this is what it would have looked like in the 1970s, in the early 1970s. Behold, Ximen in all of its retro glory. And this is current day Ximen, the kind of big commercial area. Now, the way that you can access Ximen would be to go to Ximen MRT station. That's along the blue line. It also connects on the green line. And I definitely recommend going there. As you can see from this background footage, there is a lot of shopping that can be done. There are restaurants that can be visited. There are buskers out there playing music, and there's street performers, and it's generally just a cool place to go to. I definitely recommend, if you're coming to Taiwan, that you should visit Ximen and just walk around and soak in the ambiance. Alright YouTube, thanks for watching the video. Please remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and share, and all that other good stuff. And bye bye!